Hi, everyone, and welcome to Dentist's Coffee Time. You know, we're often told that what makes a smile truly beautiful is perfect mirror image symmetry. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the real secret to a breathtakingly natural smile actually lies in a beautiful, intentional flaw? Today, we're going to decode that very idea.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Take a look at these two smiles. On the left, you've got a digitally perfected, totally symmetrical smile. And on the right, a natural one, with all its little subtle differences between the two sides. Which one feels more authentic to you? More alive? This very question is the paradox we're going to unravel today. For centuries, from the art of Leonardo da Vinci all the way to the principles of modern dentistry, perfect symmetry has been held up as the gold standard of beauty. It kind of represents order, balance, and health. And yet, when we apply that rule too strictly, especially in a human smile, something can feel a little off, almost artificial, you know? And this brings us to a statement that has puzzled dental students and practitioners for years. Aesthetic guidelines will tell you that a smile must be symmetrical, but then in the same breath, they'll say that you can allow for asymmetry. So wait, how can two completely opposite rules exist at the same time? It's a genuine contradiction. It feels like a logical impossibility. So this is the crucial turning point for us. If that relentless chase for perfect mirrored symmetry isn't really the answer, then what principle should be guiding the creation of a beautiful, natural-looking smile? Well, the answer isn't to just abandon all the rules, but to embrace a much more sophisticated one. The solution to this paradox is a surprisingly elegant concept, and it's known as graded asymmetry. It's a principle that doesn't force you to choose between symmetry and asymmetry. Instead, it organizes them into a clear hierarchy that our brains are, believe it or not, hardwired to find beautiful.
So, what exactly is graded asymmetry? Well, it's this idea that our eyes and our brain don't judge all teeth by the same standard of symmetry. The closer a tooth is to the very center of your face, the midline, the more we demand it to be symmetrical with its counterpart. But the further away it gets, the more imperfection we can tolerate and even appreciate.
Think of it like a tolerance gradient. Those two front teeth, the central incisors, they are held to the absolute highest standard. They need to be near perfect mirror images. As we move out to their neighbors, the lateral incisors, a little bit of subtle asymmetry is perfectly acceptable. And by the time we get to the canines and the teeth further back, our eyes are pretty relaxed, allowing for much greater differences without messing up the harmony of the smile. But this isn't just some clinical rule. It's actually rooted in a very deep artistic and philosophical understanding of what beauty is. It's about finding harmony not in sameness, but in variation. So let's explore the why behind this fascinating principle. This concept, which actually echoes principles you find in Eastern philosophy, really gets to the heart of the matter. See, true beauty isn't about stamping out all the variation. It's about establishing a strong unifying theme and then allowing for subtle, interesting differences to play within that theme. It's all about finding the difference within the similarity. And this is a brilliant way to illustrate the point. Imagine a bundle of rods. If all the rods are the same color, you can have a bunch of different lengths, and the collection still feels harmonious, right? The shared color is the unifying theme. Conversely, if all the rods are the exact same length, they can be all different colors. The shared length is what provides the unity. In a smile, it's the central incisors that provide that powerful unifying theme of symmetry. You know, a great way to think about this is in terms of a story. The two central incisors are the main characters. They're the protagonists. They establish the scene and the primary theme. All the other teeth, well, they're the supporting cast. They have more freedom to have their own unique characteristics and quirks, which is what adds all the depth and personality to the overall story of the smile. But the most compelling reason for all of this isn't found in art or philosophy. The deepest secret behind graded asymmetry is actually hardwired into our biology, specifically into the very mechanics of how our eyes work. That's right. The reason this principle feels so intuitively correct has less to do with the teeth themselves and more to do with the physical limitations and capabilities of your very own eyes. So here's the key. Our eye muscles allow our eyes to converge, that is, to turn inward, to focus on a single point, kind of like looking at your own nose. It's easy. But what we can't do is diverge. Our eyes can't turn outward independently. Unlike a chameleon, we can't look at two separate things to our left and right at the exact same time. So how does our brain get around this limitation? Well, to check for symmetry, your eyes perform an incredibly fast scan and compare maneuver. They focus on one side, then flick over to the other, and your brain compares the two mental snapshots. Because our eyes converge so easily at the center, this process is lightning fast and incredibly precise right at the midline. We can spot tiny errors instantly. But the further out that scan has to travel, the slower and less accurate it becomes, which makes us far less sensitive to asymmetry on the periphery. And this brings us to the ultimate takeaway. For any artist, designer, or dental professional, the lesson is clear. Focus your energy on the center. By achieving near-perfect symmetry in the protagonists, those central incisors, you create a powerful aesthetic anchor. This gives you the artistic freedom to allow for natural, graded asymmetry in the supporting cast, resulting in a smile that is both harmonious and vibrantly alive.
So I'll leave you with this thought. This isn't just about teeth. It's a fundamental principle of how we perceive beauty. Now that you know it exists, where else will you see it hiding in plain sight? In the facade of a building? The composition of a classic painting? Once you start looking for it, you might just find it everywhere. Let us know what you discover down in the comments. Thank you for watching. This is Dentist Coffee Time. Bye-bye.